Lord. See, right, so first and foremost, when I give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahushai,
Hashem,
Hashem, Rakadash. We said, "Among the apostles and elders, agreements and who are teachers of apostles and truth." Of this salutation, so the act must push with no truth and sincerity, the in and the out, and constantly in season or season, we say, Shalom. And once again, we also did the prophesy. And now they are matter of fact, let's start with the scripture. Right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and I will read straight to, I'll read verse 26. Right? It said, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And the Psalm might say, from men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for those things are coming upon the earth. You understand? And let's going off of that a little bit. Let's mention certain things. If you keep on up with the news, you'll see how much things happening right now upon the earth. You know, and things are obviously when they get worse and worse in times to come. Eventually heading into what? Into World War III, eventually heading into what? To those ICBM-S.O.T.E, right? Those nukes, right? But there are a bunch of things happening in the midst of us right now. You know, just in the week, we saw how much places was get a little for tsunamis, right? We saw how much earthquakes take place, even on yesterday, there had an earthquake in one of the places. Right? Even for us here, we go through, like, if you're not paying attention, you will notice that we're going through what they will call shortage of electricity. Right? The power keep on dipping and going. Right? And these was things that was warned about months ago that we could end up going into what? A blackout. You know? Which, going into a blackout will cause chaos. You know? Because, again, going into these people that live in upon the earth, especially the generation that we in, they never went through a hard time. They don't know what it is to go out there without technology. Yeah, they're born in the convenience. That's right. They're born in the convenience. You understand? So they don't know what it is to go out there without electricity.
You know, just to go outside, climb a tree, pick a fruit,
or fish, or how to survive, even like basic survival skills. They don't know these things. You know, they're so dependent upon, you know, the things that we so give them. Whereas, and again, they right now, they're ripe for the picking for Esau. You understand? Esau have which one they need all it to be. Right? So dependent on them. Right? Literally, every single thing all they do is, or they dependent. Again, we have to turn on the Lord. In times when we come into the turn on the Lord, pray, have faith. You know, hope. All these things that we're supposed to have. You know, especially the times that we're going into. When you say men's heart feeling, you understand how dreadful that day going to be. You understand? How dreadful it's going to be, how critical, or scripture talk about the perilous times, all these things. You know, every single day that you read the news, you're seeing something happening, and you're seeing it get worse. Like I was doing for the past few weeks, I was taking like natural disasters, right? Like for example, one of it was like the earthquakes, and doing videos, right? And I remember every time I do the video, I continue to say through the Spirit, hey, you know, it's going to get worse. And the scripture said, for all these things must come to pass, but also tell us evil shall increase, right?
Just not about the
yeah, well,
you also say there's the beginning and sorrows.
Sorrows, that's right. So let's
see all the things. He said, but the end is not yet.
Yep.
So this is the beginning of sorrows.
And
so as brother say, it will, because it have to get worse.
Yep, that's right.
You know, it is no such thing as, well, you know, it could be a better tomorrow. Nah, that was when my grandparents was alive. They could have said that then.
That's right.
No, there's not the time for that. We in the last days of the last days.
When they say peace and safety.
Yeah.
So then suddenly you can get it.
And even as you would bring up that, you know, recently, well not recently, I wouldn't say recently, like a couple months back, one of the Trump administration, one of the main speaker is a woman, a young lady. She has no age. I believe it's
Pulsi.
I believe, yeah, I remember she names have a P.
Yeah.
Right? She come out and say, well, the main initiative for the Trump administration is to regain trust of the people. So as the brother say, when they say peace and safety, because that is what they will say to ensure that, you know what I mean? Ensure that all they rely on them.
And even that way saying that, even when you see the Trump administration, you see the deception going on right now with them. Because there's a bunch of stuff coming out about that organization. And we understand, again, that is our enemy. There is no truth to come from it. There's no righteousness to come from it.
What truth come from?
Yeah, the scripture tells us to beware of that wicked man. You understand? And that is death. So we know there's nothing to really trust them about, or nothing to pour our trust in them. You know? Because
they say the lie, we didn't trust them anyway.
Yeah, that's right. For example, it's like the Epstein files. You know, they have the files and
they don't want to release it because it's incriminating them as well.
And
even though they say, you know, they're going and release it. That was just, as I said, just to gain the trust of the people. Yeah, you know, Trump come, he had everything on display. Everything, you know what I mean? Transparent, we know what he's doing, we know this, not knowing this, you know what I mean? He's one of the main men.
They say come out and say, well, you don't have no list or kind of thing. Like,
yeah, they start to say never had a list.
Yeah, when he kind of trying to move them back and forth, like this distraction.
And then he come out to say that he list tampered. He say, 1 minute he say he had no list,
and
then he come to say the list tampered with, then he come to say, then the FBI come to say the redacting Trump name from the list. So wait it do have a list, it have a list. Wait this, but again.
But if the FBI go and redact the name, that mean the tamper. So that mean we not sure the names that they was always there, or they take out certain names as because if they could do that for him, because he is the president of the so-called free world. You understand? That is his station. He is the president of the so-called free world. You know?
You see, so even with that, we also see like again, we see where you see certain places they're going through where you call the natural disasters, there's flood. Total outer order things, you know, like sometimes in hot sun, all of a sudden you just see big water coming on. People, a lot of people dying, right?
So house floats in our way.
So house floats in our way, right? We also seen how chaotic it is, like when you watch like the people that said they get more evil and all these things happening in the midst of us. So we know the times worse, and it's going to get worse until eventually until them nukes coming on, you know.
Good.
They say the heavens shall be what shaken, you understand? Because that way we're going to end up to World War III. It's right around the corner. You know, obviously there are things that happen before that, right? When the M.O.T.E being one of them and so on, and we see it, and that's one of the things too. In the midst, like for the past few weeks, was being talked about, like stable coin.
Right, something like right, is something.
What is the one they put up last night? Yeah, I shared with the identification. All they need the identification to go through like the
or to be able to enter and exit.
So like for example, like for that stable coin, the law that they passed where they say the backing would be digital assets. You know, even Trump, even that same woman, she come out and say that they are headed into the digital era. They don't want to deal with that physical money anymore, right? And all these things, and that eventually will head into the brother shared an article last night going into the when they cross is crossing is UK, right?
Yeah.
When they cross
into the EU.
The EU, you have to have this identification.
A digital ID.
You know?
They go into biometrics now.
It's biometrics, yeah. Which all goes into the M.O.T.E. Yes, and before it covers what the elder from England say, like right now how they have everything set up in England. Right now, they could do the draconian laws freely.
Yeah.
You understand? And
because
implement it freely.
The safety, the internet safety, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yes, that was what I mentioned.
That already implemented, you know. That is not talking about again in Parliament. That is already a law. That already being.
Yeah, that already.
People already paying the repercussions for things they say on the media.
Yeah.
You understand? And that is the times when, as you know, they come with the draconian laws because how they set up the infrastructure to do so now they could say, yeah, we locking you up for 2-3 weeks because you say XYZ on Facebook. And the thing is, it don't even have to be nothing personal. This could be your views from 15-20 years ago. Once them search your name and they watch straight post, nah, let's not go along with you know, with what we subscribe. Get on, get here.
Remember the man on Boondocks, so you say, do I make you nervous? Free man.
Yeah.
That's
that is what it does.
You know you're not free. We just making a joke.
And inherently emphasizing that you're realizing time that we are in. All these things happening. And this is just, let's for example, this is just in a week we're talking about. We're talking about the weeks before, and we're talking about the weeks to come. You know, we're just talking about this week. You understand? All these things happening. So much our countries passing in digital laws, right? Digital currencies, the swipe and go.
Yeah.
You know, the brother mentioned the Genius Act with the pass. Yeah. Also mentioned the act that the UK passed with the laws. YouTube's another stuff for people in America. By the 18th, right? 18th, if you're of a certain age, you'll be required to use an ID to come online. Right? This is where it's headed into. This is what we're going into. You know,
identifier.
Yeah, and also going into like a way we call it authoritarian, you know, authoritarian leadership, right? So now there goes the word, the famine and the word, right? Because when now obviously the videos will be deemed what? Hate speech. It was already deemed that, and it was deemed medical misinformation years ago. Then they take up the medical part and they just start and they label it as misinformation.
You know, all the misinformation we give out was factual.
Yeah.
All of a sudden is facts.
Just the other day I get a strike. No, I think I got a strike. I think my content was removed or something.
put it
Like
on.
that. Same thing. Misinformation.
So again, knowing the time that we are in, you don't understand? Knowing the time that the scripture talk about being occupied in prophecies, and that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be focusing on nothing on the world. You understand? You have a job to do and you're supposed to be doing the job the best of your ability. Right? Especially dealing with the time that we are in. So what I'm bringing up your picture about.
If I can say also, that is show you where the truth really lies in it. Because look at all the information out there that is misinformation. The Book of the Dead is misinformation. The Apollo flight was misinformation. But you could find all them things on YouTube and they striking them videos. You understand? But when we bring out actual information about the elites, what they're doing and so forth, who the small hatters is. You understand?
It's misinformation when they compare it to their information.
You don't ever fight against a lie. You fight against the truth.
Can.
You understand? You let a lie continue to spread.
Especially if it's a liar.
Yeah, especially if it's a lie.
Yeah. Say, 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It's about of the time and the season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Yeah, because you understand the season's at the end. Right? And we're not in the season of laughter. We're not in the season of the party.
1444.
Yeah, 188.
Yeah.
Understand? You can't. You know? We're not, and that, again, like, the Lord might send that number to make you see. You know?
I got a glimpse of it.
You understand? 144. You know what praises to your heart, Hashem, your shine. You understand? Yes, so saying, you know, you don't know the seasons at the end. Right? It's the same way, okay, the same way, like, for example, different seasons that might run by.
Yeah.
Summer, spring, well, for America, it will be summer, spring, fall, winter. For us, it will be 2 seasons.
Hot and what?
Hot and cold,
Wet.
wet.
Dry and
rainy
dry
season
and
and dry season. We have no others than that.
Either hot or wet.
Yeah. And right now we're heading into what you call hurricane season, which is just going into the rainy season, right? Why? Because you see the signs of what? You see the signs that we headed into rainy season, right? And the same thing now, you're telling about the season, and then understand the signs of the season at the end, right? We see the enemy on the move, the enemy on the prowl. Revelation 12 verse 2, you tell you, but he knew he had but a short time. You understand? What's so quick now? You're passing the stuff, you're passing the laws. You know? People don't understand the dictatorship, or going back to what we were saying, the authoritarian leadership that you're in. But till it finally finally come to your doorstep. Elon Musk, what he said this week, right? Then he say his 8 test, the woman, she did what? What she was doing? She was moving. She could not move. You know? And what she have inside of her? What do she have inside of her? Right? A chip.
Sure, I didn't do those on a flicking computer
On a
screen.
computer. You understand? And what do she have inside of her doing that? A chip. Also going into what the false miracles that they would put forth. Right? Using the AI technology.
It's true now.
It's true, yeah.
It's true. Ain't no microchip.
And that goes to show up, you know, what would show that we speaking the right thing, things happening. Remember the Lord tell us that. If a prophet speak things and it come to pass, then he use what? You know?
He's a false prophet. Say, 1 Thessalonians 5:2 is say, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Yeah, and again, you don't ever know when a thief coming, but you have to prepare yourself. You know? You want to prepare yourself. You don't know what day that thief coming, but you need to prepare yourself, and that's what it's supposed to be.
You probably got proof in your pop cameras because you don't know when he might strike.
And again, that's how we think is first. We will do what? We protect ourselves. We go into the word, we videos, read, pray, all these things. And you're preparing yourself because when the Lord comes, right, as the Lord said, you don't want to catch you don't want to catch your servants doing what?
Sleeping.
So you understand all these things, right? Right.
Say verse 3 is say, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You understand? So when it is you thinking that everything cool and that's again jutsu, you know, for those who know what that is. That what the Lord putting them in right now. Say what it says, send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. So he putting them into that mindset of thinking that everything either good or would get better at some point in time. And when they're in that state, like for example, like you know when you think you win a fight and you turn your back and you walk away, all your defense is down because you thinking the man dead. Not knowing the man just stand up and take a sword and stick it to your back. That was going to happen to them. But when I get caught completely off guard, especially like with these flags, it be happening with the war and so forth. They might see either 1 or 2 missiles you still fly and they go stop. And next month you'll see the next 1 or 2 missiles fly and they go stop. And they go think, nah, that you know them just they're not gonna blow up each other completely.
Yeah,
you know, they
wouldn't enter into nuclear warfare.
Right, they getting put in that mindset.
It's a skirmish.
Right.
You know? Yeah, don't worry, they go enter into peace talks.
Yeah. Look how long them in now for about 3 years now, and nobody in there. Like that's fun. 2 people casualties die, but you know the whole place in blow up and the whole and they will look at these things and they will get caught up thinking because remember they don't want these things to happen, and that will more or less build a hope that everything will get better.
You remember when the scriptures mentioned wars and rumors of wars, how a rumor has spread, and I talk about it, right? That's how a rumor has spread. So at the end of the day, it's the same way.
Yeah, prophecy be fulfilled.
Yeah. So they have to talk about it. They have to become a rumor. You understand? And that's how it will be. Like, for example, this week Trump said what? Trump said that he sent 2 submarines in the outskirts, 2 nuclear submarines, you know, because one of the ministers, I think Minister Lara from Russia, threatened America or something like that, and so he strength, he sent 2 nuclear submarines.
Threatening America, if all they do this, we do that. Biden said nothing.
And he said what? And he also said after that, he doubled down, and he said that America is ready to have nuclear warfare with Russia at any time. And understand all these things is rumors and so forth. This is things that we have to hear. We're glad we're hearing it. So again, you know, anytime that we are in, you know, yeah. Now we know that not going to happen. No, but it's a good thing to hear. You understand? Because again, it have certain prophecies that happened before that great and dreadful day.
And that's what they caught up with. They're watching it face forward, but they don't understand that for everything is a time and a season. Certain prophecies had to take place. The only reason it happened because the Lord didn't make it happen yet, you know. So people say what they say, he had put it in their heart to fulfill his will. It's not in their heart yet to just blow shit up because the MOTB system has to be initiated. You understand the prophecy that he calls all small and great, rich and poor. You know, these certain things have to happen first. You understand? They say what hurt not the earth or the city trees until all the servants and Lord have been sealed in their foreheads. All these things must come to pass before the end comes. So they're not watching from a prophet. They're not measuring the time, so to speak.
Yeah.
You understand?
They're not measuring it in itself.
Say verse 4, it say, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Because the men of the Lord, the followers of the Lord, they have the eyesight. They see and they understand what they're waiting for.
The men on the watch according to our move. Except for now, stop a couple too.
I stand on my tower.
Yeah. You know?
You understand?
Standing on the watch and that is what it say, I think it's that same verse where it say, do it tarry, wait for it.
Entreat.
Well, the same chapter, going down the can. Right? That is what it said. Do it tarry, it will surely come to pass. Do it tarry, wait on it.
Which means it will take a while.
Do it tarry, it will take your time. Because you brother said, even in Ecclesiastes, it says everything under the sun have a time. There's a time and a season for everything under the sun.
A time for war, a time for
peace. You know? You understand? Even as the brother open up, but the priest of the brother open up, but at the end of the verse it says, and the heaven shall tremble. Yeah? And that precept twofold. Not just talking about the literal heavens shaking with the nucleus. We're talking about the rulers of this world as well. You understand? Because the word heaven go back to the word kingdom. You understand? So the ones in this kingdom, their kingdom will be shaken. You understand? They will tremble because why? They wouldn't know what to do when that time comes. Scripture says they will be so afraid but will fight. You understand? If you're so frightened about fighting, you already know you're going to lose. You already know you're fighting an uphill battle. You know, like them animations where they are the man pushing the ball up the hill. That is what you're doing. You understand? And the further up the hill you go, the bigger the ball gets until it crushes.
The Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Sisyphus.
That's basically what they're doing.
The Sisyphurian effect.
That is what they're doing. They're just pushing a ball out, going uphill. And the further uphill they go, it's the bigger and heavier the ball getting until it crushes them. You know? You finished, boy?
No, yet. I was up chapter 2. Verse 2, sorry.
Go on.
They say, verse 5, it say, ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day.
Yeah.
We are not of the night, nor the darkness.
Right.
It
The
said
darkness, the darkness and the night going back into that confusion. We have the light, we have the day, so we see where we walking. Scripture say a wise man foresee the evil and hide himself. So we see in the footsteps we go and take night.
You're not in an ignorant state of mind.
We're not confused. We're not confused. We're not out here saying all praises to your Basha Shai Basha Kadash one day, and the next day we say we was never a Hebrew Israelite and we know nothing about that doctrine. You understand? We're not confused. You know?
Basically, if you're doing like that, you come like you deny the Lord.
We're not
confused. If you deny in front of me, you deny
it. Deny you before you father.
It'd be a real neglect to do something like that.
But the thing about it, you're right, and that is who going and do it.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Real neglect.
But that is who going and do it, because that is what they would expect from them.
These are the ones that in the night who say the MOTV is a doctrine or the MOTV is an embargo. You understand? Yeah. How is that? Like, well, they didn't read the precept.
They say sin.
You understand? And these are the ones that are of the night and in darkness. You understand? The ones in the night and of darkness go say, well, we were infringers, but we're not keeping the law. How that makes sense? You're stringent about we're infringers, but you're not stringent about what the fringes represent. That is confusion. Guys walking in darkness, you're not seeing where you're putting your foot.
And again, we are the light.
We are the children of day.
We are the spirit of the Lord on us. You understand? That we can see.
We to us partake in the adoption of sons, which is what in layman terms, that is the illumination, that is the light. That is what it is, the light, which is what the truth. That is what it is. You understand? Regardless of how harsh fellas say, oh, so listen, you know, the great blow and men tripping up for the great blow, like it's something that big. You understand?
It's a law.
It's a law, that is what it is.
Written.
You understand? And regardless of how the elders break it down time and time again.
If you really think about it, that is, I remember sitting down and think about it the other day, and I was comparing it for somebody. I say, even if you compare the two situations, right? Look at the law for that today, and look at the law for that in the past. At least in the past, you do it, she had somebody, you're going to die. You do it, and she had nobody. It's obviously sometimes he has experienced trauma from them kind of stuff. You at least get a husband. Whatever trauma she have, you have to deal with her because
you have to deal with the person she is for the rest of your life.
Right. So it still have a stability and a foundation in it, because nowadays that happens, say you gonna go to jail.
You go to jail or they never find you and she has to live with whatever trauma.
Probably with a child too.
And no one time, most likely, they are child. If you're going to do that yesterday and pull out you.
Yeah.
You just come to the do.
So even when you think about it logically, like it's say, well, show yourselves as men. When you really sit down and think about it from a man perspective, it's still a better outcome from a family oriented perspective.
Than a woman trying to raise a man. And raising another henpeck man to add to the million and one henpeck man we already have.
Not every, like how they make it, like how people go make it sound, not every man won't do that. And again, it has certain laws that if you do it, you have to abide by.
Yeah.
And if you don't, there's a judgment for if you don't do it. You understand?
And it goes as far to it goes the law back then. So circumspect is the word I want to use, right? Because now a woman could claim rape after all you had a
consensual interaction.
You understand? Back then, they say if the woman airball, right?
Yeah, she was a party.
She was.
Too early to go down. So you show how perfect the law was. The scripture says outside not the utter confusion, but a peace.
Just a hard way of saying, because there are situations today where men are forced. You understand? But what would have happened is that if the law was implied and she didn't scream, I mean she was a partaker of the law, you know. But again, and we not going back to the person saying we're not telling men to do anything like that. tell him that don't do it.
Yeah, just
And
break
but
down,
You're
yeah.
just showing it that even back in those days,
How it
and
was
things
dealt
like
with.
that.
How the law was and how
Yeah.
perfect the law is.
How it was dealt with.
You understand? Compared to today. Recently there was this guy, I forgot his name. He of Negro descent, let me say. Labor terms, he's Ajik. He black. He live, it's a story happening in America.
Yeah.
In 19 something, a pair of twins, right? Lying in a bar with a cousin. This fella, he got a ride with him. You know what they say? The black guy assaulted him. This man spent 44 years. He went to jail at the age of 25.
Wait.
Spent 44 years in jail.
Had any signs of assault? Like,
Just now, wait, there's more. Right? Spend 44. So 44 and 25 is 69. Right? The scripture says 3 square and 10.
yeah.
So he spent the greater part of his life in a cage. Right?
It was something he didn't do.
He was released this year, as in 2-3 weeks ago, if not last week. Right? I was watching this story and they say there was no sign of as I say, assault on the girls. The hangmen were intact, the both of them. But you know what's going on? It was fooling around with the cousin now, right? You understand? So whatever, like, let me put say Hickey and Mark or whatever they had on the skin or whatever, I put say. You know what I mean? They didn't want to go mad and admit, hey, we and cousin were first, you know what I mean, having a time.
So you sink a man for
An innocent man, for 44 years.
And that's how the
And
system.
no, wait, there's more. He had not, he again nothing. The 2 women who caused that,
Nothing
the
happened
judge,
to
the
them.
police officers who work with this, nothing coming out. I mean, they say it's still ongoing to see what would happen. But thus far, them women and them still saying, oh, what, they still can't sleep good at night. And they still traumatized. But it's all your life 44 years ago. How you traumatized off a lie that you made?
I remember telling a guy that just.
And well, the ladies were either my side. And I mean, in them 19, whatever, I remember, it was a kind of shaky racist, kind of separatism, you know what I mean? Segregation, white against black. So you don't know the black man getting guilty
Say what
regardless.
a woman shall come past a man.
Go on.
So in this society, you're still seeing situations where men would do nothing wrong and the system would just.
Because a woman says so.
It would favor them.
There was no evidence of assault. The girl's hymen and thing was intact, so there was not interference.
Them done make children and get married and do all kind
But
of things with their life.
they are already senior citizens and them crying on the
Yeah.
camera saying, oh, they still
Because
traumatized by it.
there's victims.
Really?
And died. I tell somebody that just yesterday or something. I say, all the women is do what it is do because the laws of society, even though they just feel like if they had the worst lives in the world, the laws of society is tailored to them.
And that is what the men who the children of the night and the children of darkness, these are the laws that they uphold.
Yeah.
You understand? This is the system that they want to see continue on perpetually. Well,
That's a hold on.
You understand?
so okay.
Hold on. Man, I'm trying to remember the.
That real messed up. That real.
I'm trying to remember. It's about book, right? But the book ended up becoming a big movie after that. I can't remember if it's Jupiter Rising or something like that. Something along those lines, like them kind of tales now. Or like you read something, but it's a big movie today. They make it recently. I think the last 3 years they make it. And when the movie came out, I remember hearing the story about it, you know, and it was and I just talk about the wicked and rude, you know, because the woman who created the book, I think she lied on a man, right? She lied on a man. Lied on the man, a Jake, matter of fact, lied on the man to see he robbed she or something along those lines and thing, and she took what was his, and she took it and made him entire book. Right?
And benefit or
And benefit
so she
off
rob him and then profit off of the story.
That is what went on with this youth man. Emmett Till.
No, yeah, I'm
That is the basic story. Emmett Till, he was in an elevator with a white woman. The white woman said she assaulted him. They come and burn down his place and kill him. Arrest him and kill him.
Not elevator.
Is it not elevator or something,
I
sir?
think it was a store. She in the store.
Alright, can.
Something along those lines. I'm back in them days with
Yeah, can. But nevertheless, it's the same story. Yeah, it's the Jake good. You understand? And yeah, what is the messed up thing? It's Jakes who fight into uphold the society and the system.
that against them.
The man,
Say what the trust and oppression that this is what the saying goes.
It's not only trust in the shadow, I just.
read something, right?
But
It's the book Ezekiel chapter 35, and I go read verse 1. It said, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And Mount Seir is basically talking about Esau-Edom, right?
Yeah.
And right now the modern day capital for that is what? America. Yeah, the son.
It say, and say unto it, thus said the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And there is the Lord telling you, judgment will come upon Esau-Edom, right? It say, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And as the scripture says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, that everlasting hatred. Since the beginning, since in the womb, that hatred was there. You know? That you know, right? You have Ezekiel.
That same account on but I as well. We say because you are perpetually hated, your brother.
Before I
and they pursue them. Yeah, that is how, but I think like 13 or something.
So showing it that the hatred that Esau have for us, that the brothers bring up, you know, the situations that happened before, and you can basically go up and look up documents, look up stories, look up shows, and there are plenty of stuff coming out today now where people giving their accounts of how they spend 50 years of their life in jail wrongfully. When they do go into the courthouse, there's only Edomites there. You know, there was one loose. Emmett Till situation.
It's a situation with the New York 5.
Yeah,
was a movie
and who was one of the men that do it? Trump.
Yeah,
you know,
there's five youth men in our park. They hold for the girl, and then release them as old men, you know. And they come out and bring out that story. I think it was on Netflix. Is that series or a movie?
Only because that's the things happen in the midst of it that took place. Like,
yeah, and that's like one of the most recent things happened, like in recent history.
Yeah,
like one of the most racial, controversial kind of, you know. So they.
And this modern, one of the biggest in this modern thing. Whereas you think you get traction from the movie, that's how many people get to know about
this story.
You know, and it's still the movie. Trump was one of the men that actually caused the men to be in jail. You know,
and that is all the leader.
And that's all the leader today. And Jakes look up to him today.
Yeah,
but again,
he's proud American.
You don't know they go love their enemies. But again, that perpetuation you gotta have. You really feel in the time of heading into, you feel they're gonna love it. Right now, it have Netherlands, America. This week came out with an article stating that they have a village, right? A village with only white people in it. They don't want nobody else there except white people. You understand? Only whites.
We just call them Albanians, man. Oh gosh. I forget what it's called them, white clan and them in jail now. Let's start to
call them skinheads.
Skinheads.
Skinheads. But it's not even that. It's just like they just separate themselves. Yeah. Meaning that
you are all white society.
Yeah, all white society. You don't know nobody else amongst us.
Los alumnos de blancos.
A place in America called the Villages or something like that. Like a big, I think it's the Villages. I think it's what it's called. It's like a big area that retirees just go, and sometimes they share videos on it, and you see like them more retiree people. You gotta be making a certain amount of money to retire. You gotta be real well off.
Prominent.
To be able to be inside it. And when you look at the recording people doing activities and things, everybody see one Jake here,
one Jake in the corner, so
one Jake so, but the majority of it is only chips ahoy.
Yeah, well, you're not there. I can't remember. They keep them. Them going to be prominent.
When the cracker jackers.
They will only allow who they want to be prominent besides themselves.
All of these are signs to you. See, when you watch these things, all of these are signs of an impending race war. Because they're separating themselves. Jake thinking that they want to be in the midst of them and want to mix up with them. But you also see the hatred when they perpetrate online. Stating that they already know we don't want these Negroes in the midst of us. We just want to be by ourselves. What is we telling them online? Go back where?
Go back where they come
from. Understand?
I understand. You know what they don't say? They don't say we go stand on them because we bring out here. They don't ever say that.
Or they will never say, well, we will go home because they're not from there.
Yeah.
They actually killed Jake there.
Yeah.
You understand? And they love to use this excuse. For example, I do a video on that.
We brought democracy to you.
Yeah, they love to use that word, democracy.
We bring civilization all savages.
Or liberation.
Yeah, we
you know?
liberate all from all the savage ways. We taught all about bathing and soap and this and that.
And we know and actually if you're going to come history of bathing and soap, it's Jake teach.
I think Jim Lays.
But it have this thing now, whereas when he's so talking about the natives, right? They'll have to mention, we saved them from killing each other. We saved them from cutting off their heads, from sacrificing children. But you are the biggest sacrificers of people in the world.
To date.
In a civilized society.
In a civilized society. To date. Throughout history that span, or they do, like for example, what you all doing in the Middle East? Are you all not starving out our people? Are the children dying? So what you call that?
Even if you look outside of war, the Bohemian Grove.
The Bohemian Grove.
And these different things that they've been doing. Huh?
Look at the vaccination drive and thing in Africa.
Yeah.
Look at them.
No, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about whereas literal sacrifices. That is what they're talking about. That is where they come and save the natives from. Right? But literally, if you go back in history, yes, it was tribal war, which you all did, even on to this day. To this day, you're still committing tribal war.
Yeah, they're fighting against your own
country. Even amongst our clan, they're fighting against the tribe.
Russia is our clan, are Edomites?
Are they not against us? Right? But again, when it comes to those things, you'll control the narrative. That narrative is actually diminishing. It's going low. Now people are starting to get exposed. That's the reason why now they want to do what? They want to shut down the internet, they want to stop. So the information coming out, because why? Too much coming out. Even the AI, right? This is how tricky it gets. The AI, right? For example, Twitter has used Grok, right? Yeah. So when somebody put up a post, they go say at Grok, and they'll ask them if it's true. So each one is at Grok, and for the past few while since Grok expand, Grok has been cutting them with their lives. You understand about who it is in charge, who it is doing this, who it is committing genocide, and all these things. Grok started to expose them now. Elon Musk did so when Grok went out of control. He so-called say went out of control, but literally it's just because Grok was speaking things they wanted them to speak. So what he did was shut down Grok for a few days, and then he brought on Grok 3. You don't understand all the trickery and the wiles of what? The devil. You understand this is what they would do, and again we living in that time. The time we're coming into, you see how they're bringing out what is a separation, and that's okay. You don't know why? Because in the kingdom to come, that is what it's going to be. You understand? We don't want, matter of fact, all them not going to be there. There would not be no more Edomites. You understand? But they would serve, or they have to serve vigorously.
Yeah, vigorously.
You understand?
The rod of iron.
Yeah.
With joyful standards.
All over beg for the Sabbath to come. You know, and when the Sabbath do come, or they would want it to stay.
Yeah,
you understand?
To remain.
They would remain. Sunset. For all the wickedness you're done unto your brother. You understand? That's why you say they because there was had a perpetual hatred. That hatred will come. Hey, you have to account for that hatred done to us. You understand? Because if they do the things you want them to do and way beyond, you know, you have to pass it. You understand? You're forgetting like what you all did to the natives. You talk about child sacrifice. When they come, or you start to feed the native children and same thing that they don't do who? On the jigs. So they use that because they want to make leather out of the alligator skin.
So they use them as bait.
Or even when a woman was pregnant, they used to start she and rip out the child's belly. You know, these are things you'll continue to forget but hey, that will be brought into remembrance. You know, then that kill with the sword shall do what? Then that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. That is the cycle of life. Just remember, everything takes that circle. You understand? You all have to face
balance. Balance, and I just balance is abomination.
The worst thing to see is Jakes who continue to forget what just happened to they let us say ancestors, you know? But what happened to the forefathers? You understand? See, they were natives, you know? That why that's what the natives, when they see a native woman with an Edomite man, there's one to mash you up, you know? And there's the thing. There's the thing. But that stuff what they do will come back onto you. And worse, matter of fact, the Lord say it will be worse unto them.
You know, funny. I was talking to about some time ago now, about a week ago or something. And she was talking about something similar to that, like why it is people can't forget like all that slavery stuff and thing. And I break it down for she. I say it's not as simple to just tell somebody to forget something, especially one where it's trying to have lingering effects.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
And it's still happening even on
And it's still happening because I tell she body Willie Lynch or them kind of thing. And after I break it down for she was like, well, you have a valid point. You know, like she shouldn't fight it. I was like, right, you have a valid point. I say yes, it have Jakes who just worthless and doesn't.
I let me tell them, Mark, when somebody mentioned I heard somebody, I say, do they forget 9/11?
Do they forget the Holocaust?
Do they forget it? So-called.
Yeah, so-called.
What are you saying now?
Yeah,
Because that
Yeah.
would come.
As you bring up that, let's say
Wait,
that.
before you go into that,
Go ahead.
know what you're saying?
Yeah, with that.
Because that is why things get in the video in the show.
Nah, man, I'm going to that's why I talk about that video. I see
Yeah.
somebody take the Hitler switch and they translate it
yeah,
word
you
for
mean, yeah,
word now,
translate it, yeah.
English. Understand?
Them-
And the focus is a podcast. So the fella, I believe it's the guest now, boy, is a Jake, by the way. Chopping the flick for the man and he like, no. We was on the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. No, that's the topic right now going on, that they was on the wrong side. Even so-called Edomites starting to see, but wait, hold on a minute.
We was on the wrong
We
side
really
of
and
the wall.
truly was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but it's coming out. Why? Because I know you've seen where America, they fought in small hats. And I said, what is going on? But now they're going to see what, hey, wait, them really and truly is the problem. You know?
They started everything. We are rushing to help and revive and maintain.
Same thing happened back then.
Same thing.
See what the new thing that they said, right?
Come.
And then the kind of spirit that these people has carried. The scripture say what? It said never trust thy enemy. One reason why I tell you that, because if a man, like I said, you can tell you, but somebody always lying to you. Especially for little things. You can expect that they'll tell the truth for big things? No. You expect them to lie even more. Because for the big things, you'll actually gain problems or it will actually affect you. So if you can't trust them for little things, then you can't trust them for nothing. Really and truly.
Now the Lord say, you have people that curse and I go to the east. You understand? Again, we see, watchmen. Imagine now where they can lose the work, they can lose the job, first of the things to say. He's not okay because they know they are nothing to lose, this is their kingdom. Imagine when shit pop off and then the freedom to do all as whatever they feel to do. Imagine that. Right now they're talking about segregation and separation and all these things and all this other stuff. You know? I know Jake loved that kind of kumbaya. You know? We all together, we in this together. You know, like for example, Jake seen the video with because I have a video with it, right? In America where the Edomites was talking about, well, you know, we want to be away from them other races and so forth and so forth. Right? And here Jake now. Well, why would it do that? It's not Jake who even want to be around all that. You know? That is what I'm talking about. People who are the wicked are laden with iniquity. You understand? The righteous don't even want to be around one of the wicked tutors. You understand? Then you have these men who teaching us this false doctrine saying the tutors gonna make it in the chariot. You mad? You know?
So where's the point of the salvation then?
Where's the point that we actually teaching outside there? Every tutor is making it, tutors coming and be charging you.
That can't make any sense. People say, watch your soul that you shall reap. The salvation is being delivered from the second death. You understand? Apart from the new bodies and so forth and so forth.
Apart from the new covenant.
Apart from salvation is being taken away from the destruction. If you use that tutor and you're getting taken from the destruction, then what is the point of the work? Like, it have nothing about that makes sense. But we know in the higher ups and some of them in camps, them men.
Yeah, they take the bag.
Yeah,
so they take the bag, they take the purse.
So they know what they're doing. Filthy lucre is one their mind right now.
They become hirelings. You know? And I say hireling, you can, that's right.
Yeah, you can't enough for the sheep.
Yeah, you say hireling, you care for the sheep.
God.
You don't care?
Then again,
He gave you money.
you have a piece of it
Nah,
now?
I think. Bueno,
No, but I want to take a mention, Mark. 30 and 5. Yeah, just on that same, just to hit the nail on the head. 30 and 5.
Right? It's the book of Jeremiah,
30.
chapter 30.
What verse 5 say?
It says, for thus said the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
No,
So this is to Jacob's trouble.
Go down to the last verse.
The last one.
Yeah, in Jeremiah.
Let's say, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it.
No, check 31 for me. But it's one in number.
Which one are you looking for?
Matter of fact, it's 5. Check 5 and 30.
That's
so
it.
like, yeah, 5
I
and 30.
every time it is an argument.
Check 5 and 30.
It's Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 30.
Yeah.
I know you're looking at it. And I think there's the solution. Nah, it's not 30. It's from 23 that I heard.
Go ahead.
We talk about, no, 20.
Is that
20. I'll read from 20.
No,
I'll read from 20.
Go ahead.
They say, declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, we have ears and see, we have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, said the Lord.
Yo, only don't fear the Lord, because why? All your eyes, the scriptures talk about what? Thy teachers will not be removed. You understand? All your eyes, it have the media, there's the day and age of information. Right? It have nothing hidden no more. Everything being exposed. All you can see, all the teachers, the truth is out there. All you hearing the truth every week.
With
you
facts.
understand?
With historical facts and things.
And not only that too, it's not to say you have to literally, as a viewer then, you don't have to come out and stand up on the side of the road and listen.
You comfort at your home, you can go to see the videos.
You understand? Go on.
Right? Let's say, fear ye not me, said the Lord, will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail.
Yeah, they do prevail because why? As the Lord said, they are perpetual bound. People that are there to separate the water, the wet from the dry. Right? How they will not fear the man who separate, who's hold back the water from overtaking the dry, and we know the space of water is way more than the space of the dry.
Remember that similar to the second Esdras, where the angel was talking about the ocean saying it's going to overtake the land, and the wood saying it's going to the ocean, and he said which one of them was right, which one of them was more right, the ocean or the land, and he said two of them, the thoughts were vain, because at the end of the day, the Lord give their
everybody
ocean.
the bounds.
Yeah, so.
It's though they roar, yet can they not pass over. But these people had a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Right? And that is how people are. They're rebellious to the Lord. You understand? And again, once they rebellious to the Lord, they turn on to what? They go to other idols. Idolatry.
Once you're serving the Lord. Once you're serving the Lord, you will be
serving something else. It has nothing other than the Lord.
It say neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord our God, that giveth rain both the former and the latter in a season. He reserved unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares, they set a trap, they catch men. And that's the thing, among our people are wicked men, and that men, they lay snares, the doctrine, the philosophies, and so forth. The things that they teach. Snares are put forth there, and they catch men.
Fringes with grass.
Yeah, fringes with grass. Fringes on smoking, fringes on idolatry. You understand? Fringes and idolatry. You understand? That is within. But don't let them see you without it, because why? You more wrong than them. You understand?
Like they literally make the statement like
the outward man more important than the inward man to them.
Once the angels crack the sky and you don't have fringes on,
you can't make it get a teacher.
Yeah, you understand? Like it that serious. I like wow.
Because when they see the word garment in Revelation, and they think it's this
talking about. Clean, they think it's factual.
And again, not knowing the script, not knowing the breakdowns, not knowing the proper thing, but it's, again, as the brother say, it's all about our work, the outer appearance for them. Because they know, you don't understand that they know that is what Jake like. Jake don't like the things inside, it's always about the outer. You understand?
Do what you want on the inside, but until look good doing it, he's a part of a big number. That's what Jake like, being a part of something.
A woman looking good, she could be wicked, but she looking good. To a man, that is Israelite man, she righteous. What do you mean she looking good?
What the man saying in the video, educating an Israelite priestess,
Yeah.
or a Levite priestess or something. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, we mean a priestess.
Where is written?
Yeah, like, we don't do
We
that
know we
here.
have about the Levitical priest.
God.
But what the priestess is?
But when I see that,
I see take Aaron and his sons.
Yeah.
He never mentioned
Yeah.
Aaron and Aaron had daughters. All of them had daughters. He never mentioned Aaron daughters.
Right. When I see
You
that, and
understand?
that was the headline for the video, you know. And I watched that, I was like, wow. But that's how that is bring.
This captivate
they say
the crowd.
silly women. You
Yeah.
understand?
Silly women.
Lay
Let
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Lady with sins too. Right? People say they silly woman, lady with sins, no?
Yeah, God.
Sending nude pics while men in class.
Yeah, class.
That,
All these
that's the kind of
So now next thing else, man, they
yeah.
send anybody on the next one at the bench notes.
And again, that's basically the way it is. It goes to show that hey, we really need, we really need the Lord.
Yeah, divine
Understand?
intervention.
Divine
Divine
intervention.
intervention. Because nothing would stop these men because what? We're not able to stop them off. Nothing we do is of ourselves. If it was of us, as the scripture says, it would come to naught.
Not.
Right? We not able, you understand, at this point in time, because these men, you know what I mean, are agents of this system, so to speak. You know what I mean? Them is the celebrities are this world. That's what I'm looking for, celebrity status, riches, fame, and all the things of this world. We don't desire that. You understand? We city is to
Wants to
come.
come.
You understand? We have no continuity here. We don't desire a day more in this place. You know? We just here enduring. We just here enduring.
Scripture talk about the prisoners of hope.
Done.
And they can't hope for things that they want to see.
Done.
Yeah,
They say
hope
hope
for
in
things
things that are seen as no hope. There ain't no hope. You can't hope for that. You could go and acquire that.
Yeah, that's right.
There ain't no hope.
That's right.
You understand? There's no hope in that.
I'm pretty well done. Let me finish.
Oh, you want to bring it on now? Bring it on.
All right.
Yeah.
They say there's Isaiah 47. I'll start from 6. It say, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. It said, thou didst show them no mercy.
God.
It say, upon the ancients, the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Yeah,
Aye.
the old, the young, age and sex and gender didn't matter to them. You understand? Why you think in the time of slavery, right? That was also known as it was a very religious time period. Like slavery / Renaissance / the height of Christianity, right? And in Spain, the charge or the penalty, right, for a man killing our next man was what? Was that man be killed? Because what? That was written. You understand? That was lawful. Now the ones who was keeping that law wasn't the ones who was given the law, mind you, eh? We was in slavery that time. And while that was going on, in Spain simultaneously, you had Edomites slaughtering Jakes whenever they feel like it, however they see fit. You know what I mean? Rape, slaughter, all these things were crime with capital punishment behind it. But not for us. We were what? We were looked at as less than men. That is why they say no more. 3/5 of a man. You understand? That is how we were referred as in the American Constitution.
You know, what the 10 Commandments, when Moses did hold Joshua for striking the man, he has gone and buried the old woman in the stone. And he they didn't want to stop the block and she think they get catch. And he gonna strike and they stop the block after Joshua strike him now. And Moses come and say, do you know it's death to strike an Egyptian? But it wasn't death for an Egyptian to strike you.
God.
You understand?
God.
It come like the same thing.
God, now you say, wow, they laid now, they fall by heavy yoke on the ancient line. Because since we, as well as I say, since all they do forefathers, all they're not doing it to us as physically strenuous, you know.
Yeah.
But all they doing it in all the ways, all they didn't do them.
The draconian laws.
You understand?
True. You've been afflicted with all the physical laws.
Can't.
Hey, also remember reincarnation?
Yeah, can't.
We obviously had to be in the midst of that as well. You know?
Can't, but this entire societal infrastructure and the entire societal design, it ain't no way that a righteous or yeah, I'll say righteous because Biden is righteous. So a righteous man ain't no way that he would have a place in this society today.
It's designed that way. It's designed to keep people in a state of unrighteousness.
Come
Okay, just like I was saying,
convenience and unrighteousness.
That's the Judith,
Unrighteously convenient.
I think that's Judith. When the man say, what they say, if they sin not before their God. So they already know how to have us so that we could be in a perpetual state of sin.
They make
So that the Lord
foods prominent in society, men want to eat them things.
Right.
No lobster is that. You gotta be rich to eat this.
Like-
that
like-
time in buy that you rack that you see.
Like they use gelatin and thing in food.
Can't pork.
You know you're not supposed to eat pork, but they know that they will keep them continue to sin.
they're using pig hairs to make brush.
Brush.
Like I like wow, like you can't get away. No matter where you chuck your head, you can't get away. It's something.
You put on your TV, it could be internet or some LGBT kind of madness you see. You understand? You can't even browse without seeing some sort of abominable shit. You know, then you mix of us.
And they're going back to that same mindset because he didn't just study us. They say if they sin before their God, they say we will surely overthrow them. You know, that's paraphrasing. And they thought, you know, that they would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for them. You know, it would have worked perpetually, but the Lord had different plans. You understand? And that's where Mashiach comes in. Because if it wasn't for Mashiach and we had to actually keep the law to be like to be sanctified, we was doomed.
Yeah.
You understand? But through Mashiach, that when the apostles asked him, they say, who then could make it into the kingdom? It was like with man it is not possible, but with power all things are possible. And that is why even though we will live in a sinful kingdom, you understand, we will go off from time to time. We still able to understand and do the things that we just do. You understand? Because it's true Mashiach is how we able to do these things.
Somebody asked me, oh, you expect to be perfect. No, you strive to people. And how to do that? You gotta keep the word. You keep the word, you abide by the word. You understand? Now, they say somebody perfection of the law. But Lord, you know, even the law is saved by it, but you still do it because what? It's righteousness.
You see righteous act.
You understand?
Go down, as the brother said, I'll go back to rehearsal and righteous act. Yeah, the rehearse the whole time. You understand? Rehearse only rehearse when you don't have it perfectly. That's the only time you rehearse.
And we're not going to have it perfectly.
Exactly,
Not
and that's
yet,
why,
not yet.
and that's why
Not
we
yet.
constantly rehearse it.
Yeah.
That is all, because we know it's impossible for me to be perfect.
And,
But we will always try.
you know, I also like for example, you rehearse why too, because why are you waiting for the husband man to come? How are you literally preparing yourself to be married back with the Lord?
This rehearsal is how we show your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that's why like you rehearse, you're rehearsing. You're preparing, you're literally preparing to come back to the Lord, to bind back together with the Lord.
If a man didn't believe, he wouldn't be rehearsing shit.
Nope.
You understand? Yeah, all this is a part of showing your faith.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Go ahead, Jake.
Say verse 7, right? Isaiah 47 verse 7, they say, and thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. So when they was doing these things, they're gonna say within themselves, they say that God is like one unto us, because we doing all these things and nothing coming out of it. And that, again, that again jutsu. You know, that is the illusion that they being put in to make them feel that they would get away with it. Because you have to believe that you will get away with something to continue doing it straight down to the end. You're like a man who's doing corruption in the workplace.
Yeah, for half a millennia.
You understand?
500 years.
Huh?
More than 500 years since about half a millennia, they're doing the same thing. Over
Same
and
thing.
over.
You might see a man doing corruption and he job for 30 years and get away with it.
Yeah.
And he'll continue because he's taken by...
I get caught. I get
never
caught the
get
first,
catch.
the second, the third, the fourth time.
Exactly.
Any 30 year time. Why would I, you know?
30 years, I say, like you do that for so long and
Oh,
you take it to yourself, yeah. Like,
Every year when they audit, I get away. Why would I stop now?
after a while, your complacency level on 1,000. That is he saw. Their complacency level on 1,000 because nothing is really coming out of it. And that is how the Lord lined it. It's like how these jakes out here in the comfort zone being lined up for what is going to happen to them. He saw also being lined up for what is going to happen to you too. He not considering that, hey, even though yes, here we are the prophecies, and even worse, now he getting AI and technology and them making him feel like he more bad now. In his mind, he can fight in it. Anything crack the sky, he blowing it up. That is in his mind. But he don't understand, hey, in that time, They say what? They say all the proud and lofty shall be brought low. But he don't believe that because he don't have faith.
Man, it never happened. It never happened. Nobody ever brought him low. So as you say, 30 years you do you iniquity. Why stop now?
A lady forever.
Why stop now? Untouched.
And what you say, even if, like he has like 5 different contingency plans. Like he have the missiles, one.
But the scriptures describe her as the virgin daughter.
Never touch.
Never touch. Nobody never interfere with her.
Revelation also say, I thought that's what we sing.
Yeah.
You know, you continue.
Yeah, like I will rebuild the desolate places. That's what I'm thinking. Like no matter what happened, they put fronts behind fronts, thinking to themselves
We go get
that
back.
they will
man.
get away. Yeah,
we go get back. I mind. It's something
That's
we go do that.
that's basically what building up the pride too, because it has never been touched. That's why Edomites could talk the way they talk about. Like nobody can come and win. Nobody can tell me because they have never been touched.
Nation and pride, right?
It's like this,
Big rainbow banner.
It's like this, It's like this, right? A boxer, right? A boxer could go 50 and 0. I ain't even gonna go 50. Let me go with this basic numbers. Let me just say 32 and 0, right?
Yeah.
Never lost a fight. He go talk confident. Take, 32 and 0. He won 32 fights. But they, he get knocked out. Right? It's the day all that talk done.
Yeah.
It's the day he
Come to reality.
Come to reality. You know, he said talk, and that's what they usually say when they lost one fight. That boxer lost one fight, he lost
All
some more.
time.
You know, because now
It start that downward spiral, it break your stride. You know what I mean? To break that momentum, that winning streak.
That's why the conversation of we had with boxing that if well in modern day boxing, if you lost one fight, if you should stop boxing, right? Because like it breaks your momentum, your fame and so forth. But at the end of the day, you touch that, you remember this, right? The penetration, because America's a virgin, never touch. Yeah. But the penetration she gonna get it going on for the first time, yo.
It'll be rough.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no put no blanket or no armor, no garden or flowers on a hillside and you watch a sunset. And you no picnic basket, no fairy tale business.
Imagine me call a virgin and still being called a whore.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Said it to many people.
Yeah, that's why she come down to the whore. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, virgin and still
God.
Yeah.
So there's not many waters, right? You know, I get penetrated, but you still have plenty.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't know your portfolio. Go ahead, check.
single state. They say therefore here know this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest
carelessly. You understand? No thought of anything. That we live in any time of convenience, just do it. Whatever you want to do.
It says she had lived in pleasure.
Yeah.
Then why she live it?
It's then why she not gone.
It say that say it in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. It say I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Yeah, not going to happen to you. 30 years I keep money from the company.
Yeah.
They're going to catch money 31st.
Yeah,
The man, how? They could bring what kind of scan plus scan and audit.
I see boss.
All kind of accountant they could bring on there. They can't catch me. 30 years, I have a 30 year winning streak right now. They can't break my stride.
Because the accountant was in your pocket, but the accountant retired and the next person take over.
And they tell you, they inform you that they hired a new accountant.
Yeah.
You just know. You have an audit on the 31st of December, on the 31st year. I all you know, and you home happy. You waiting for your New Year's bonus to start that bonus. Not knowing. You understand? It's a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening.
And I said that go back to catching them with a T59.
Come.
A lot of people go and get catch like a T59 today because
Unknowingly. While you sleep,
you
while
could,
you
you
slumber.
could imagine you put things in place, right? Men fighting here. Remember all the elites in the hole, you know?
Yeah,
so
they
no
come
matter.
back.
So even if rocket shooting at wherever in the sky, you know, they say was so afraid, but yet does fight.
Just fight, come.
Them not doing any fighting. You know?
Nah.
Them in a hole.
I'm just saying the word. Come in, Commander. Proceed.
So after dust and smoke end up with them, hunters now gonna be coming and digging you out of your hole.